What's up, Bills Mafia? It's Squish the Fish week, and I got the top storylines heading into the Buffalo Bills Dolphins game this Sunday. But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
This is PZ Music.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. Well, Bills Mafia, it is Squish the Fish week, and I am pumped up, man. I hate the damn Dolphins. So these games mean so much more than any other game, for me at least. Now, I know some of you guys, Bills Mafia out there, you hate the Patriots, and I get it. But I grew up in the early 90s. You know, that was my genre. I started watching Buffalo Bills football in 1989. And throughout the 90s, the Bills and Dolphins, those were the top teams in the AFC. And we were always fighting it out. And Bills always came on top and got to the Super Bowls. Unfortunately for us, didn't win one. But hey, here we are today. We're trying to win one today. So, or this season that is. So, yeah. So I got the top storylines for you. And by the way, real quick, if you guys want to become a member of the Mafia Sports Report, the join link is below in the description of this video. You guys will get content that I will not post here. It'll be just content for members only. I try to put out at least one or two a week. So yeah, and you're really supporting the channel by doing so. It's $4.99 a month. And like I said, man, I would really appreciate that. It really helps the channel moving forward and everything like that. So you don't have to do it, but hey, you get the perks of becoming a member. So, anyways, guys, let's get this thing going. Once again, shout out to Bills Wire for creating this article. So they got the 7 storylines to watch for heading into week 4. And let's get this thing started. 70 burger, which is unbelievable. It's going to be hard to not hear about it all week. The Dolphins, 3-0, scored 70 points and set a bunch of records last weekend against the Denver Broncos. The Bills, 2-1, are going to be asked about that, and we'll probably think about it just about every day leading up to Sunday. I don't think they're going to be thinking about it. Like, listen, we're not the Denver Broncos. Plain and simple. What the Denver Broncos put out there last weekend was pathetic. And like I said, if I was ownership, I would be just raising all hell, to the coaching staff, to the players. This is what I pay for. This is the product that you guys give me. The Buffalo Bills will never, ever, even going down in defeat, look that pathetic. So, no, 70 is not on their mind, not at all. What's on their mind is the Dolphins have a very good offense. They have a lot of speed, and they need to figure this out heading into Sunday. And they need a game plan, and I trust McDermott will. So, yeah, the 70, no. I'm sure they all know about it. Who doesn't by now? But I think this is more about how shitty the Broncos played and giving up 70 than the Dolphins actually scoring 70. So, yeah, no, we're not thinking about that at all. We're just thinking about kicking their ass and, remaining kings of the AFC East. But once again, guys, I want to tell you guys this, even for Dolphin fans that are watching, this is a long season. So, yes, this game ultimately, doesn't matter in the long run because who knows what happens down the stretch. But, yeah, I mean, win or lose, we still have a lot of games left. Is this great for bragging rights? Sure. Is this great for each team to know their opponent, that they can beat their opponent? Sure. But like I said, last year, first game of this against the Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills lost in Miami in a heartbreaker, and we went down, and then the season went on, and Buffalo proved that they are still kings of the East, and they went on, a winning streak, and the Dolphins had some problems, and a lot of it had to do with their quarterback missing their quarterback, but we had injuries as well, major injuries. We had major heartbreak throughout the whole year. So once again, you can't use that as an excuse. It is what it is. We also beat you in the playoffs. Yes, I'll hear the whole third string thing. Doesn't matter. A win's a win. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? And the Buffalo Bills proved that they still are the better team. Now, this is a new year, and we will see what happens. But, yep, that's all I got for you on that one. So, next one on this. Undefeated. Look at this guy. This freaking guy. I don't know. Look at this guy. Guy looks lost in space here. I don't mean to listen. Any Dolphin fans that's watching this right now, I don't mean to rip the guy. And I'm sure you're going to rip on me. Look at you, bro. Sunglasses. But this guy, oh my God. But to credit him, he is a good OC. He has taken this Dolphin team to the playoffs. So you got to give him credit for that. They're building around Tua, so I'm not going to totally hate on the guy. He's just look at that guy. Not that my coach looks any cooler or anything, but not the Kansas City Chiefs, not the Cincinnati Bengals, just Miami. The Dolphins are the lone team in the AFC still undefeated in 2023. It's not shocking, but at this point, few would have thought they'd be alone in this category. Can the Bills be the first to knock them off? Sure, they can. And they've done it. They've done this before. They've beat better teams. In the regular season, that is. Now in the playoffs is where the Buffalo Bills struggle against better teams. But the regular season, the Buffalo Bills have proven that they could beat the best of the best. They beat the Chiefs multiple times in Kansas City. They beat the Super Bowl champions last year, week 1. So, this is nothing new. They went into Dallas, beat them on Thanksgiving one year. Like, we've beaten really, really good teams. Now, this Dolphin team, 3-0, scoring 70 points. First in the league in many, many offensive categories. I get it. Big game, big opponent. But by the way, Buffalo is favored, I believe, by 2 points. And they should be. It's a home game for Buffalo. We have, I believe, the number 2 ranked defense. I believe we're the number one in score, points allowed. We're number 2 in offense points. So we're sitting right there with the Dolphins. Don't let this confuse you. We are right there. We are one of the best teams in the NFL. So I don't want to hear all about the Dolphins, which that's all I've been hearing all week, how great the Dolphins are, how great that offense is. Nobody's talking about how great the Buffalo Bills defense is without Von Miller. When Von Miller returns, it's going to be even better. And I keep telling people this, and people just seem to forget. Now, Bills Mafia doesn't. Bills Mafia understands that Von Miller is set to return week 5. I don't think he will. I think he'll, return week 6, but who knows? I'm not the coach and I'm not him. But he is coming off the PUP list, and he was really ready to play week 1. He just wasn't NFL. He just felt he wasn't NFL shape ready or NFL ready, whatever that means. Probably just rust, I'm guessing. He needed to just get some more practice in, which I understand, because he was doing all rehab. So he probably just wasn't ready physically, for football, right? He was just rehabbing. So I think that's what he's been doing, just getting ready, practicing. He'll be back. He'll be better than ever, I believe. And then of course you got Leonard Floyd. The addition of Leonard Floyd's going to be, man, this defense is going to be nasty. But moving forward, so let's get to the next thing here. Division win needed. Yeah, we're 0-1 right now in the division. Not only do the Bills need to win to keep pace in the AFC, there's the division 2. While Buffalo has won 2 games, their lone losses came against the New Jersey Jets. I really got to talk to Bills Wire, because Bills Wire is continually making this mistake. and I keep calling them out. It's New Jersey Jets. Like I'm going to have, and I love Bills Wire, by the way. I get a lot of my news from Bills Wire. I love them, but they are constantly making this mistake. It's New Jersey Jets. The Buffalo Bills are the only New York team. They need to get that right. If the Bills hope to make it 4 straight AFC East titles, they likely have to win this one. Nah, I don't know if I totally agree with that, but they don't want to be down 0-2 in the division against division opponents, right? So yeah, in a way, it is important, but it's not. I don't think it's super duper important in the long run because it's a long season. Anything happens, and we know how the rest of the AFC East goes. With the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Patriots, they seem to sink. Their ship seems to sink towards the tail end of the season, and the Buffalo Bills continue to row on to the finish line. So, not super duper concerned about this, but I would like obviously a win and to go 1-1 so far early in the season in the division. Um, you know, and plus you don't want to be down. You don't want to have a record of 2-2. Dolphins 4-0. Yeah. So, but either way, I think this is going to be a great game. All right, next up, the speed. I get a lot of it. The Dolphins' offense relies heavily on speed. Receivers Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle have plenty of it. Can Buffalo's secondary keep up? Like the Dolphins riding a high of scoring 70 points, the Bills' defense will be heading into week 4 with some confidence after notching 4 interceptions last week against the Washington Commanders. Two of those came from defensive backs Micah Hyde and Trey White. Yeah, last week was a clinic, man. The defense showed what they are all about. Week 1, I felt like McDermott was still kind of finding his way. Though the defense played good, I'm not saying they played bad week 1, but you started to see that defense amp it up week 2. And then week 3, they really dialed it up. And like I said, once Von gets back, I think that's when McDermott will start throwing even more exotic looks out there, exotic blitzes. You're already seeing the exotic blitzes with the linebackers, Terrell Bernard coming down, some corner blitzes, some safety blitzes. Like you're going to see, I think, even more of those. I just cannot wait, like I said, to see what McDermott has planned when Von gets back. But yeah, they got a lot of speed, no doubt about it. They have a lot of speed. I know Andy Isabella's been, working this week with the team. As you guys know, he's also like a track star. He ran a 4.3 or a high 4.3. So, but obviously you can't. Tyreek Hill's on another level, and then they got multiple people that run 4.3s. They have their running back, and I always forget his name, the rookie Ancha, whatever his name is. Super fast running back, rookie. My buddy Captain D told me about him in the off season that he was having a very good training camp, and he balled out last week. And then you got Mostert, who's also fast. I believe he runs a 4.4. And then you got Jalen Waddle, who also runs, I believe, a 4.3, 4.4. Super fast. So that team is built on speed. So how do you got to beat that team? You got to play physical. That's how you got to beat a team with speed. You play them physical at the line. Now, I don't think the Bills are going to play that way in the first half. I think they're going to take what the Patriots did in their week 2 matchup against the Dolphins. They're going to play a bend don't break type of defense, soft zone. They're going to give them most of the field, just not anything deep. And then they're going to tighten up in the red zone. And then they'll probably, what I would assume, like the Patriots did in the second half, is dial it up on defense and really get in the face of Tua, causing him to make some mistakes, turnovers, however you want to put it. But that's how I see the game going defensively. I could be wrong. Maybe McDermott dials it up the whole time, or maybe he plays bend don't break defense the whole time. But I really feel that this game comes down to the Buffalo Bills offense, believe it or not, because if the Buffalo Bills offense does their job, runs the ball, wins time of possession, and keeps our defense fresh on the sideline, ultimately, I think the Buffalo Bills will win that game. But we'll see what Ken Dorsey has in store for this offense. For him, it's like week to week, it's something different. I don't know what to expect. I thought week 2, his game plan was beautiful. It was his best game plan, how he used the run, how we have we used the pass. I thought week 3, a little shaky, but we got the job done. But you got to play better on offense against better teams. Now the Dolphins defense, by the way, they're not the best. They're in the middle of the pack. They give up points. So the Buffalo Bills offense could definitely score on that defense. Though they got good players, they got a good defensive line. They got fast edge rushers. So our offensive line needs to be on their game. All right, next up, D-line dominance. Look at Leonard Floyd. Speaking of speed, it's not just in the legs. Miami quarterbacks Tua, I can't pronounce this. Tua Tagovailoa gets the ball out faster than any other in the NFL. He has a 2.36 average time to throw. The Bills are fresh off 9 sacks against Washington. It's going to be very difficult to even get 1 or 2 against Tua, but those could be crucial. Yeah, you can get to Tua, but listen, Tua has been sacked 1 time through 3 games this season. And that's for a reason. They do not want Tua getting hit. And I totally understand that. I mean, you don't want any quarterback getting hit, but Tua especially, because Tua is like glass, right? He's very easily to break. Um, he reminds me a lot like when Peyton Manning went to Denver and they got him a great offensive line because they knew, if he took a couple big hits, he would be done. His career would be done because he already had neck problems going into Washington. I think he just came off that surgery, and that's why the Colts let him go. They knew it was time. And Denver really surrounded him with good offensive line. Same with Tom Brady. Tom Brady, no matter where he's been, had very good offensive line. They protected Tom very well, and that made his career, go longer. In the NFL, and that's why Tom Brady, for the most part, was injury free. I mean, I believe the one injury he had, the major injury, was one of those non-contact injuries. So once again, keep your quarterback clean, and he will remain healthy. But Tua, um, you know, Tua's a little bit, injury prone, meaning it doesn't take a lot to get Tua concussed or Tua hurt somehow. He's a smaller frame guy. He's been hurt since high school. I know Dolphin fans don't want to hear this, but it's the reality of things. Tua has a long uh, history of injuries, and it's dating back since high school football. Then it carried on to college. It carried into the NFL. Everybody knows once you get a concussion, you're liable to get, it's easier to get another concussion and then another and another. It just comes easier and easier. And last season, I didn't think your coach handled it the right way at all, especially in that first game against Buffalo. Um, he was concussed. No matter how you guys want to play it out, like it was a back thing, he was concussed. The very next week, you saw what happened against the Bengals. And sometimes you got to look out for your players. And listen, if Josh Allen, went down like that, as a fan, of course, obviously he's wanting to play. Maybe I'm caught up in the moment. I'm like, nah, he's good, he's tough. But ultimately, that's the coach's job to protect the player. Just kind of like a boxer, you got your coach in the corner. Um, he's the one that ultimately needs to throw the towel in because the boxer will keep boxing. So, anyway, speaking back of Tua, if Tua could stay healthy for the season, then yeah, this team could ride into the playoffs with that's a 12-win team, possibly 13 even. But that's the key, keeping him upright. Now, Buffalo Bills defense is going to get to him, but how often, that I don't know. He does get the ball out quick, like they said, 2.6 seconds. But he also at times does hold the ball still. So I don't think the Dolphins have went against a pass rush like ours. They haven't went against a defense like ours. And I think we will get to Tua at times. We have, I think, the highest pressure rate right now in the NFL. So he's going to see Buffalo Bills defenders in his face. And we'll see how this game goes. But I don't wish injury upon anyone. And I'm not saying, um, to injure Tua. I'm just saying that he will get pressure in this game. And he will, moving forward against better defenses like ours, he's going to get hit. And I'm just curious how his body holds up for the rest of the season as the season goes on, because I don't think Tua has finished an NFL season without getting hurt. So, we'll see how that goes, but I'm not the Dolphins. I'm not Tua, so we'll find out. All right, next up, J.A. Come on, y'all know who this is. Josh motherfucking Allen against the Dolphins. All that said about the Dolphins, Bills quarterback Josh Allen must hate the color turquoise. Even in his early years navigating the NFL, he still seems to always bring his best against Miami. Overall, he's 8-2 against the Dolphins. Yes, let me repeat that. He's 8-2 against the Dolphins, including a last-second drop from Charles Clay way back in 2018, leading to a loss. And I remember that. That was a crazy play. Tough catch for Charles Clay, but come on, bud. You could have made that play. Of all games played in Orchard Park, Allen's 5-0, and the Bills averaged 37.4 total points in those outings. And thank you so much for that article, Bills Wire. Yeah, Josh Allen, man, whether you like him or you don't, and I know all Bills Mafia likes him and loves him, he handles his business against the Dolphins. He handles his business against a lot of teams. And Dolphin fans love to, and just not just Dolphin fans, just other opponents love to take shots at Allen. Oh, the turnovers. This guy's done a lot of good since entering the NFL. I believe he's up there with Marino in total touchdowns in his first, what did they say, 5 seasons. Yeah, the guy is unbelievable. And nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about what he does on the field with his legs. Nobody talks about the unbelievable passes he makes. They only want to talk about his interceptions or turnovers or whatever he does that's bad on the field. But, in these games against the Dolphins, he has played exceptionally well. And Dolphin fans know that. They know that. And if they don't know that, they're lying to themselves. Now, Tua had a very good game not week one, I'm sorry. Was it week 3 last year in Miami against the Bills? He played very well. But I don't, Josh Allen's on another level, in my opinion. Now, Tua is having a very good season. Don't get me wrong. But Josh Allen, to me, is still a notch better than Josh Allen, just, arm wise, running wise, just everything. So, yeah, quarterback versus quarterback, I'll take Josh Allen all day in that. But the Buffalo Bills in general, have owned the Dolphins. I believe we're 10-2 since 2017 against the Dolphins. And we actually have a win in the playoffs against the Dolphins from last year. So really, we're 11-2 against the Dolphins. So we've owned the Dolphins, no matter what they want to say. Over the past 6 seasons, and they got a lot to prove still. Right now, they're happy. I get it, and if I'm a Dolphin fan, I am happy as well. And I'm like, hey, I'm pounding my chest, boy. But you haven't proven anything. You haven't won a division and God knows when. You haven't won a playoff game since 2000. We've been there, done that. What we're looking for is a Super Bowl. What you're looking for is to finally win an AFC East and win a playoff game. We have higher expectations because we've already been there, done that. We've proven that we are, the best team as far as in the East, finishing the season strong, winning the East. And the Dolphins still have to prove that they could do that. So, yeah, this is going to be a hell of a match, no doubt about it. But once again, I want to say it's a regular season. It is week 4. So win or lose, I'm not overly concerned. And I'm also, listen, if we win, I'm also not going to be like pounding my chest either and saying, oh, we're the best team in the NFL. We're the Super Bowl. That's not how I roll here. It's not what I do here. I just speak the truth. I give you my honest opinion. Win or lose, I come here and I tell you why. So I hope you guys enjoy this. By the way, I turned 45 today. 45 years old. Guys, I'm getting old. So Buffalo Bills, can you do me a favor? Just get this win this weekend for my birthday. I don't ask for much. Now I do want a Super Bowl. That's the one major thing I ask for. Okay. Just give me a Super Bowl, damn it. But it's my birthday weekend. Can you do me a solid? Just go out there and beat the damn Dolphins. My most hated team in the NFL. By the way, the Vikings almost took over that spot because how their fans acted last year after beating us, coming on my channel, acting like clowns. But No, no, I just couldn't do it. The Dolphins are just, man, there's something about the damn Dolphins, and I'm sure they feel the same way about the Buffalo Bills. I'm sure they hate us as well. But anyways, Bills Mafia, I love you, and as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.